Zambia captain Barbara Banda has made Olympic history. She becomes the first player to score 3 hat-tricks at the Olympics. Of course, she did that twice at the Tokyo 2020 Olympics. And of course, yesterday in the Copper Queens 5-6 defeat to Australia. Very unfortunate for Zambia. She hit another hat-trick. Welcome to Sport Africa. Of course, this is where we discuss all things regarding sports on the continent. How are you doing? Of course, it's the beginning of another week, and in the next few days now, we'll be saying goodbye to the month of July 2024. How have you been following the Olympics? My name remains Ashalu Oluwafemi. Of course, James Agberebi isn't here today, so I'll be flying solo here, and of course, I'll with you wherever you are. Please don't forget to subscribe to our channel, please. That is the support that you can give to us right here. Please, Sport Africa, sport without the S, then Africa with the K. Okay, let's get started. Of course, yesterday, it wasn't a good day for Africa once again at the football event of the ongoing 2024 Paris Olympic Games. We saw the Super Falcons of Nigeria losing 1-0 to world champion Spain by that very, very bombastic, unfortunate free kick for Nigeria. And of course, we saw the Copper Queens losing 5-6 to Zambia. It's actually sounded like a result from a penalty shootout. So 2 defeats for the 2 countries representing Africa. Then, of course, we'll be looking at their chances going into the final game. And there are, of course, 2 slots for the 3rd best losers at the competition. And it is not certain, particularly for Zambia, because, they have no point now, as well as Nigeria. But they've considered a lot of goals. Yeah, I've considered a lot of goals. So they are minus for now, while Nigeria has -2. So eventually, if they even, both of them, get to win their final group matches, we'll see what happens. But hopefully, we wish that at least one of them will remain at the competition to represent Africa. So, of course, let's talk about the medals table. Of course, we only have Egypt and South Africa. Those are the 2 Africa countries that have picked up medals at the competition. Of course, Egypt in fencing, and of course, we have South Africa in rugby serve. Of course, that is normally expected because of the strength. Now, what is very instructive about these 2 nations is that they've been able to pick up medals in sports that are areas of strength to them. But when you look at the likes of Nigeria, you look at the likes of Ghana, Cameroon, Morocco, and all that, though most of the events at the Olympics is yet to kick in. Of course, by August, we'll be seeing athletics, and it's one area that Nigeria may likely, of course, pick up medals. Football used to be one of the areas that Nigerians were actually looking at picking up medals, but with what it is now, it is not very likely. Of course, as well as table tennis, we've seen Haruna Kodri, Nigeria. Haruna Kodri defeated. We've said Olajide Omotayo defeated. Yesterday, we saw the Afiong, of course, also defeated. So today we'll be having Fatima Bello, who will be playing the last table tennis singles event. And we just can't say. Okay, so let's come to the football event in the male category. It's also not looking very bright for Africa. I do not really know what the problem is. You remember in 1996, we had Nigeria going all the way to picking the gold medals. And of course, 4 years later, we saw Cameroon also doing the same. But at the ongoing football event for the men, it's not really looking very, very bright for Africa. Now, let's look at it in Group A. Guinea, they are without the point. Yeah, they are without a point after 2 matches, and they are rooted to the bottom of that group. So it's not very looking likely. And for Morocco, who are the under-23 CAF champions, they have 3 points in Group B. They have 3 points. It's still a point that a group that is very open. Each of the 4 teams have 3 points each. So we have Argentina, we have Morocco, you have Ukraine and Iraq. That's very, very surprising because you have 2 countries who are actually one still involved in war, and you have Iraq still grappling with the fallout of the war that rocked that country, but they are doing well. Ukraine, both of these countries are doing well. So Argentina, Morocco, Ukraine, and of course you have Iraq. They have 3 points each in Group B, and in Group C, Egypt, they've not done particularly badly. They have 4 points. Yeah, they have 4 points from 2 matches. So Dominican Republic and Uzbekistan, those two are working tightrope. So the way it is looking at, Spain have 6 points. So I think they're already home and dry regarding qualification for the next phase of the men's footballing event. So look at Spain, for instance. Now you have the men doing well and the women doing well as well, because Spain yesterday, remember, they defeated Japan 2-1. I'm talking about the female now, the women, women's football, they defeated Japan 2-1 in the first game. And yesterday, they ran away with that some have said it's a lucky goal against Nigeria. So they are doing well. So what has been very instructive about the Olympics is that I thought James was going to be here. We'll have had a conversation about why it is difficult for Africa to actually take advantage or mine our strength. When we get to international competition as this, because you have someone like Aaron Okodri, who has been the best table tennis player on the continent. He's been back and forth with Omar Assar of Egypt, and then losing three-game lead to a 19-year-old at the Olympics. So those are the conversations that, of course, we will be having in the coming days. So we're hoping that Nigeria and Cameroon, Nigeria and Zambia, I beg your pardon, will be able to win their final group game and at least have one representative in the women's football to get to the knockout phase. That might maybe bring a prospect of winning a medal, whether it is Nigeria or Zambia eventually. And like I said, for the men, it is looking like Egypt. Remember, Morocco defeated Egypt in the final of the under-23, but Egypt now are looking like they might likely just have a passage to the next phase. And of course, reacting to the 5-6 defeat of the Copper Queens to Australia yesterday, we have Zambia President Akande Ichilema. He was actually saying that what could be the misfortune. He said, okay, I'll quote him. He said, Zambia, he wrote on social media, Zambia. He said, like, hey, Zambians, let's gather here. What shall we say to this misfortune? Where is the problem? He was asking the problem. I think if you've seen the Zambians play, particularly, I saw that game against the US, and I think they had problem with coordination. They had problem with the final third. If you actually remove the Barbara Banda and Richard Kundananje from that team, I think you might likely not even have a team at all. It doesn't look like the side that defeated Morocco to win the ticket to the Olympics. So, I don't know, but for Barbara Banda, she has done herself. She has put her name in the history books for life, becoming the first player to win score 3 hat-tricks at the Olympics, twice in a competition in 2020, and of course yesterday against Australia. It means that she's made for some stuff. So we should be looking at her, of course, Rachel Kundanaji for maybe for the next best female player of the year on the continent. So we hope that Nigeria and of course Zambia will be able to win their final group game. So that at least we can have a representative going there. So as days come by, we'll have a new event unfolding at the Olympics. I'm sure by the time we have weightlifting, by the time athletics kick in, by the time we have generally the track and field, possibly Africa will be able to do better. And don't even forget in the marathon where we have the Kenyans and the Ethiopians. That is sure. I think you can predict that. You can predict as much as tomorrow being Tuesday that Kenyans and Ethiopians, they will do Africa proud in that regard. But I think Africa needs to do much more than some of these things. Yeah, because if you have if we are one of the most populated continents on the globe, we should be able to do much more on the continent. Yeah, even in wrestling, sometimes wrestling that a lot of people have said we have the physical endowment, the strength, when you want to compare with people that are born in other parts of the world. But at the end of the day, we don't really do much. So I think it is instructive. The All African Games, I think we should always ensure that we raise the bench higher. Even Ghana hosted the last all African games, and Ghana have one of the very very short contingent going into the ongoing Olympics. I saw a particular story regarding Cameroon where about Cameroon has less than 10 athletes going to the Olympics, and you have 35 officials. Yeah, 35 officials. I do not really know what we do sometimes. So we should not get surprised sometimes when we go to international competitions as this and we don't even win medals. Remember the story from Ghana where we had athletes, some persons, relatives who were asked to bring home the corpse of an athlete who actually died and they absconded. So these are stories that do not really warm the heart when you talk about Africa. But I think there's always room for improvement, and I think it starts with knowing our strength and actually chasing it. Kenya, Ethiopia, it is sure that once they go to the Olympics, they're like Rudisha, David Rudisha will be chasing, he said he's chasing historic gold medals at the Olympics. Yeah, that's fine. That is the area of strength. So if you're talking about Nigeria, for instance, if Nigeria will be going to the Olympics, football, and whether in the male and female categories, you should guarantee Africa a medal. Africa should be guaranteed a medal. So those are just some of the things that are happening in Paris. We saw the very beautiful opening ceremony, one of a kind last weekend, and we wish that Africans and African athletes will be able to bring pride back to the continent at the end of the day. Sorry, this is where we'll be drawing the curtain on today's episode of Sport Africa. But please don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Please click on that notification button so that you get our videos as soon as they drop. Of course, we are in the season of Olympics, so all focus, all attention, of course, around the world is at the Olympics, and Africa is no exception. So because most of the countries have an athlete participating in one way or the other at the Olympics. So please, let's continue to support our athletes. Let's hope that they would be able to do something for Nigeria. Of course, the singles event, the double event at the table tennis will be kicking in. So we hope that because Egypt, Nigeria, majorly Egypt, Nigeria, they are the ones flagging, carrying the flag of Africa in table tennis event. By the time, we hope that the likes of Omar Assar will be able to actually do something in the singles event. So we get our fingers crossed as this event unfold in the next coming days. We'll see you all next week. I remain Ashalolu Afemi. Have a fantastic week ahead. Bye for now.